Hello YouTube, Fair with you once again. I have to make one small correction in my Mormon video 12.5. I stated a specific extinct horse, and I got my notes all mixed up because I was researching all the known wild horses that were still around and extinct. I just went off on a tangent researching about all the horses, and I got the lines blurred or something. I mixed up the different geniuses and stuff like that. So just a slight correction. The horse that was found in the bread tar pits that went extinct 10,000 years ago was Equus occidentalis. I think I pronounced that right. And the best thing about this is that this was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers who dutifully fact-checked me, and I was very, very pleased at that, because I really don't want people taking me just at my word and not going and checking out what I'm saying. I want people to verify what I'm saying. So I was really happy that somebody was actually doing that. And that person was Zodiac Ranch. So please thank her for keeping me honest. Okay, on to the video. I watched this, and it's not the best quality video. I mean, the video quality is, I think it was taped somewhere either late 70s or early 80s as far as video quality goes for that. And the picture was also further degraded because it's VHS tape. So there was parts of it where it had like this weird kind of fuzzy stuff at the bottom. But the audio was fine, and I was able to watch it and take notes. It was about an hour long. It didn't really state who the person was that was making the claims, but he seems to be some sort of Mormon expert. Now, this video is supposed to be the video that gives all the evidence for the Mormon Church, so I was taking notes. I just want to review it. I can't show you bits of the film because there's a very strong copyright warning at the beginning of the video, so I'm not going to be showing any parts of the video. Even if I were to show like a 10-second snippet, I'm pretty sure any of the Mormons that watch my videos would flag the crap out of my channel. So I'm not going to do that. So let's go over some of the claims made in the video. Now, before watching the video, the person that gave me the video said that there would be specific evidence for certain things that were in the Book of Mormon. Things like the presence of steel and solid cement structures that are mentioned in the Book of Mormon. Okay. This guy went around basically to Argentina, Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Latin America, Mexico, all those places, and took a look at a bunch of the ancient buildings and cultures in the areas. And he surmises that these are the remnants and the evidence for the Lamanites and the Nephites that's in the Book of Mormon. So I wrote down all the kinds, and some of the pictures, some of them were like aerial photographs of when he was in a plane and he snapped a picture, and he's saying there's this highway made completely of 100% cement. But all you could see is a bunch of trees and this kind of like land track. I mean, it could have been a dirt road for all I know. I mean, it wasn't a close-up picture at all, so you can't really tell. You just kind of have to go at the guy's word. There are a lot of photos like that, but there were some up-close shots, and I'm going to go over that stuff. He seems to have taken the entire Incan, Mayan, and whatever other culture was around back then that was there at the time and stolen them for use as Mormon evidence. As for the cement structures, he points to some adobe buildings, which is not cement, it's adobe, and numerous temples and buildings and whole cities that he says are cement, but it turns out that they are just stone structures. And I mean, the stones are so precisely laid that no mortar was needed. The stones are so closely together, the tolerance is so great, there's no need for mortar or anything like that, which was a marvelous achievement of the Mayan and Incan cultures at the time, but not cement. He claims that the Incans and Mayans used to worship the Judaic Christian God Yahweh, and then over the years just kind of let go of it and started practicing heathenistic ways, as he calls it. There's one photograph he snapped in a museum, and you can see this skull with some tusks coming out, and he's saying, "Look, they had elephants." But very clearly, if you look closely at the picture that he snapped, you can just tell just by the tusks alone that it's a mammoth fossil. So I don't know about that. As for the claims of steel tools, or the presence of steel, or anything of the metals that were listed in the Book of Mormon, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at my earlier videos. The only mentioned metals was a lot of gold work. Silver was mentioned once, and a few times hardened pure copper tools were mentioned. So, no steel. He points to their pyramids, and their pyramids are stepped, and they kind of have like a stopping point where it kind of flattens out at the top. It doesn't go to a point like an Egyptian pyramid. And he says that the reason they did that is because of the old story of the Tower of Babel. They didn't want to get too close to God to offend him, so they just kind of level it off. And that's not really true. The designs of their temples and stuffs was mainly for human sacrifice, which isn't very Mormon. So there's that. He makes numerous references to the feathered serpent. There's this stone carving of this serpent at the base of most of the temples, and at the tail of this serpent are feathers. Now he says that when he was talking to the locals, that they explained that this serpent is Satan, and that the feathers at the end of the serpent, or what have you, means that he used to be an angel. That's why he's got feathers. Not only that, according to this guy who talking to the locals apparently said that Satan was the brother of Jesus. And if you know anything about Mormon culture, you know that in the Mormon storyline, Jesus and Satan were brothers until they got into this little tiff about what to do with humans, and Satan wanted to destroy them all, and Jesus said, "No, let's give them a way to atone for forgiveness," and that's why Lucifer got cast out. But according to Mormons, Lucifer is Jesus' literal brother. So he lists a lot of temple names. I'm not going to say them because I can't pronounce them, but pretty much think of any Incan temple you could think of, he brought up and for evidence. He points to the hieroglyphs of the Inca that's on the temples and stuff like that, and he says that it's clearly Egyptian hieroglyphics and clearly of Abrahamic descent. You can tell this guy right away, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. The hieroglyphics that are Egyptian and Incan, they're no way the same. They're just, the only way that you could say they're similar is that they're both hieroglyphics. They're both a language based on pictures. That's about it. He also found a group of a local tribe, what have you, that had lighter skin and blondish hair. Now he claims that this is a lost Nephite tribe because the Nephites were supposedly pale and the Lamanites were supposedly darker skinned. Thus, they were darker skinned because they were cursed. And so I got a nice little picture of DNA corroboration of who came from where. So that's what I'm going to use in my next presentation. All right, so let's go with the facts now. This is Aztec mythology. Okay. And it's just, sorry, I didn't look at this beforehand. I'm just kind of perusing it now, but I printed it out for a specific reason. Here we go. Quetzalcoatl, I think. Anyway, right there where my finger is. See that? Feathered serpent, god of twins and learning. So this is the feathered serpent that he was talking about. So the feathered serpent is... No, it's on that page. Okay. He was a god, okay. One of the many gods that they worshipped. And he had different aspects. He was the planet Venus, god of twins, god of learning. They created a calendar based on him. He was a peaceful god, not very Satan-like. Accepted sacrifices of animals and accepted sacrifices of jade but not of human blood. Not very Satanistic, huh? And let's see. Yeah. The reason why he is God of twins and all that stuff is because the neighboring god, one of the other gods that helped to create the world as far as the Aztec culture goes, was these two gods were participating, they were partners in the creation of the world. So they weren't brothers, they were partners. So that's some aspect that got twisted a little bit. But yeah, he helped create the world, so he's a partner. And the main, well, I wouldn't say the main god. One of the other gods that was also misrepresented in the film was, he said that they worshipped the Son of God. And he said it because the way the locals, I think, phrased it, he twisted it around for his own interpretation. The Aztecs did worship the sun, as in S-U-N, the big bright thing in the sky. They worship the sun, or did. It's one of their gods. Not the Son of God, S-O-N, the Son, S-U-N. So lots of misinterpretations and twistings and all this stuff. If you get a chance, I suggest you skid any way you can to watch the film, because it'll make you laugh in some parts, because most of it's just a blatant lie. And it's a good watch. I can't show you any of it because of the copyright, but somebody said that you can get it for like $10 on like Amazon or something. So if you want to look for it, it's the Trial of the Stick of Joseph. And I give it 2 thumbs down for truth. But as for this video, I'm going to give a thumbs up, and hopefully so will you. Thanks for watching.
Y'all know the name. Pharaoh fucking Monk, ain't a damn thing changed.